continue coverage of this exercise. Now, I have joining me again one of the election observers here who's been here with me to give us a sense of some of the figures here in this election. Abiodun Ajijola joins us. He's the coordinator and the chairman of the election monitor. Thank you so much, Mr. Ajijola.
Good evening.
Now, with what we've seen tonight, give us a sense of what you make of all the exercise that has brought us to this point.
Good evening. Thank you so much for having me. As you know, the election was conducted yesterday. So far, we have only been able to, the election has not been concluded. As you know already, there were 2 local governments where elections were held today, which are Southern Ijaw and then Ogbia. And as you know, we have already received 5 local governments where we have gotten results. And it seems, you know, from what we saw on the field and also what we are hearing now in the collation center, there have been a lot of irregularities in the area of malpractice, violence, overvoting, ballot box snatching, intimidation of INEC officials, you know. So these have been the general trend. And it's quite sad because we expected that by now we should have moved beyond a lot of these things.
All right, let's talk about this local government and how crucial some of these local government areas are, because everybody is expecting, journalists who are waiting, the observers like yourself, who are waiting in that room, the anticipation in everybody's mind. Everybody wants to know who is leading, who is winning, how this election will turn out. And as we speak, we understand that some of the exercise is still ongoing elsewhere in the state. Now, give us a breakdown of these remaining local government areas, Ogbia local government area, Southern Ijaw local government area, and of course, Nembe local government areas. We have 5 local government, 4 by one, winning from one party and the other one being won by another party. These 3 others, break it down for us. What do they look like in terms of figures of voters there?
Well, Nembe, as you know, is a smaller local government than Southern Ijaw and Ogbia in terms of voter population and in terms of number of polling units. Also, Nembe is the where you have the APC candidate, you know, and when you look at Ogbia, Ogbia has about, I think, 259 polling units, while Southern Ijaw has 425, which is the single largest number of polling units in any of the local governments in the state. So Southern Ijaw is extremely critical. And as you can see, the results are not that, you know, much different. As it is now, the difference is only about 25,415.
Between the leading and the runner-up.
Between the leading and the runner-up. While the number of cancellations are already about 26,553.
There seems to be a problem there. If we have about 25,000 difference now, and we have about 26,000 cancellation. Isn't that a problem there? What we saw in Kogi State?
Well, you know,
from that experience.
Well, since we still have 3 local governments to come in, we cannot conclude. But it's already it's not a good signal if you have more cancellations than the gap between the first and the second, and that's not good. And if it continues with that trend, then it wouldn't be the best. But as it is now, Southern Ijaw, because it is so large and the voter population is so large, there's every likelihood that whatever happens there will determine to a large extent the way the election
goes. It might be a swinger, it might be the local government that will swing this vote.
Yes, I think so. It's a large local government, and whoever wins decisively in Southern Ijaw is likely to carry the day, most likely, although it depends on the margins that we see from Nembe and Ogbia.
All right, now, tell me, whoever wins this election, what does the person need to emerge as a winner? Because there's a difference if you are leading, if you have higher number, there's a difference, being a winner in this election. Give us a sense of what exactly a winner requires to emerge here.
Well, you know, for you to win an election such as this, you must satisfy certain requirements. The first requirement is a requirement of simple majority, which means you must have the highest number of votes polled first. That's the first. But the second issue is that you must be able to attract 25% of the votes cast in at least 2/3 of the local government. Now, Bayelsa has just 8 local governments. So when you take 2/3 of 8, it gives you about 5 point something. And you cannot have 5 point something local governments. So in a nutshell, you probably need to get at least 6 of the LGAs in Bayelsa State having 25% before you can be in a position to be, to win the election. So you need to have a simple majority, the total number of votes, the highest total number of votes cast first. Then secondly, you need to have at least 25% of votes cast in the various, in at least 6 local governments. This is the only way these are the requirements for you to win the election.
And this race looks so tight.
It looks a bit tight because, in an election where the current gap is about 25,415 from what has been declared so far, it's tight. But again, I think it's not so tight. Some people would have expected it to be a bit closer than this, maybe like 5,000 to 10,000. But the gap at the moment is 25,000, which is not so close when you consider there are only 8 local governments. So it's actually tight, but not as tight as some of us were expecting.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Ajijola.
Thank you for having me.
We'll reconverge. What INEC has said is that 10 a.m. will all have to reconverge for the election to continue, just like the picture that you're seeing right on your screen is what is left of the room where the collation is going on. I did tell you that my colleagues also were in the bushes this afternoon when they were following some of these incidences. Of course, what exactly happened to them, they will be able to tell you. But 10 a.m. is when we'll be able to continue to give you more details when everybody will converge here, the same venue, for the continuation of the collation exercise here at the Yenagoa Town Hall in Yenagoa, the capital of Bayelsa State. I'm Sean Kimale, and we're here on the ground. Yeah, we'll take a moment now, and we'll give you more when we're able to return. Thank you.